Hey, what's up YouTube? Skybadger here, and we are back on day 6. So if we have a look at the list of nations, we can see that we haven't quite got to where we want to be. In fact, we're falling back a few places. Now, over the past few days, a few cities did rebel away from us, so I suspect once we recapture these, which I'm doing now, we should jump back up to where we were. There's not much difference between a lot of these players down here. In fact, it's not until you really get up to 4th place that things really start to jump up. As you can see, the biggest players are right here. The biggest player in our immediate area is Volta, and Volta is quite a way away from us, so we don't really have to worry about him too much at the moment. So if we come up here, this is Volta right here, and he controls a very large portion of land. And he probably will continue to hold a very large portion of land. But the thing he has to worry about and makes him different from us is he also has to contend with the European countries. Now for him, for example, he's lucky enough that he's allied with this guy who I still can't pronounce even though I played as that country once. And he's allied with Italy, so he's pretty good in that region. Between us, between the players that we have down here, I'm allied with South Africa, and I'm also allied with, however you pronounce that, but we're just going to call him Ben. And if we total up the amount of points that we have between us, we're actually not doing too bad if we were a coalition. So King is just slightly ahead of me, and between us we have 180. And then if we quickly find Ben, who I'm pretty sure is sitting roughly around 50. Yeah, 58. We are around 250. So if we were a three-man coalition right now, and we come into the newspaper and we have a look at that sort of thing, 250 wouldn't be too bad. It would place us up in the top 9 coalitions, and that's considering we're a free man. So if we have a look at this, the best free man, we'd be ahead of them right now. So yeah, if we filter by members, which we can do, we can see that we'd be pretty much up there. So in terms of score, we'd also probably fall roughly into 3rd or 4th place. Over the past few days though, we've ran into some problems. We quickly go into the Espionage tab. You can see that we're capturing spies, and if we have a look in the newspaper again and have a look at ourselves, we can see that over the past few days we have been hit pretty hard. Now today was actually a pretty light day in terms of what we've been hit with, but it is rather annoying. So we're capturing the spies and we are dealing to them, but it is a massive annoyance. When the day changed, I had 600 rear and I was building up for some research, but I got reduced to 0. So there's a hard hit there, and the players that have been using spies against me will regret it later on. At least I hope they'll regret it. I don't know, maybe I'll regret it. Maybe I'll regret making them regret it. We'll see how things play out. In terms of building at the moment, we're starting to develop our Air Force in conjunction with our Navy. So as you can see, we are producing 2 submarines and 2 interceptors while trying to keep up with our army. Once I get this runway up here, I'll stop producing aircraft here so I can go back to producing submarines, and then I'll carry on like that. For those of you who don't know, I prefer an aircraft or an Air Force build consisting of 15 interceptors and 15 tactical bombers per continent. And then I also have to give some aircraft to my naval wing and to my carriers. So that's what's going to happen there. In terms of my navy, for those of you that have watched me play, you know I like to build a navy in a certain way. I do have 5 subs already, but these subs here are not going to be used in a naval group. In fact, these are just going to be used on defense. Because I'm an island nation, I need to be able to keep my troops coming across and leaving my core, while also defending my core from outside threats. So these submarines will be used for defense, and I'm going to build roughly 8, or enough to at least build a line coming up here, screening out in front of Madagascar and coming back round. And then from there I'll start building my first battle group, but that'll be quite a ways off, so I'll get there when I get there. In terms of who we're fighting at the moment, our allies had to attack and take out Southwest Africa, and that was kind of sad because Southwest Africa did help us. The same goes with Angola. Angola helped a lot, but we can't ally with everyone. So sadly, some people do have to meet the axe, I guess you could say. That's one thing I don't like about playing with you guys, to be honest, is you guys are way too nice. You need to be a little more vicious, a little more mean, and play the game to win, because I can't ally with everyone. Like, as you can see here, I've got 12 trade offers, and most of those are shared map or right away, and I'm not declining them, but you know, I can't ally with everyone. I'm keeping them just in case I need them. So in future, guys, you know, it's nice to have allies and people that care, but I can't ally with everyone. If we have a look at how much land these guys control, they controlled all this stuff up here, all through here, and it was essentially a roadblock. Me and my allies could not expand without going through them. So maybe in the future, guys, if you do want to ally with me, pick a nation that's not in my way. So with that being said, let's carry on and we can have a look at what we're doing in Somalia. Now in Somalia, I made the bad mistake, stupid mistake, guys, of sending tanks into a city. I don't know why I did it. I don't know what I was thinking, but don't do that. So I should just send the infantry in, because as we can see, we have level 2 infantry, and level 2 infantry attacks with 3, while level 1, which Somalia has, only defends with 3. So we could have easily won that without putting our tanks at risk, although it's not too bad at this point in the game, considering the circumstances. I would not recommend it. Once we capture Somalia though, and the city in particular, we hopefully will be able to boost our rear and get a small reward of rear for capturing it. And that will be really nice to actually have some rear again, and we can start researching. Because as you can see, we're about to finish Tactical Bomber level 2, and then we're going to have nothing researching. In terms of where we head next in research, I'm going to get Submarine level 2 because I have a lot, and then I'm just going to wait, because I have no rear to spend. So that's that. Hopefully, as we do come along as well, we can get across and we can capture these provinces before Ethiopia gets to them. Now, if I remember rightly, Ethiopia did send me a trade for a shared map that I haven't accepted yet. So, if it does come to it, and I can't beat him through here, I'll accept the map, well, accept his request for shared map, and race on through. And then just hide my own map, and then I have shared maps with anybody you want. That's why you don't give out shared map requests, guys, and always delete them when you're done, especially if the other person has not accepted. So I'm going to do that to get through. All I really want is this oil province up here. If I can capture the iron as well, that's a bonus, and obviously capturing the victory points as well would be a massive help. In terms of what's happening up here though, we can see that I've got the submarine moving along, and I'm going to send these up into here to screen. As these guys push down, like I said in the last episode, it's very likely with all of your troops down south, they will carry on down south. So, got to keep an eye out for that. Also, in the last few episodes, we spent quite a bit of time looking at Lord Keck, and I'd just like to point out that he has done a pretty good job, and over the last day or so, he has rebuilt. His armor did a really good job, and what I'd like to say to the enemies of Keck, it's weird, it sounds funny when you say it like that, is build up your industrial complexes. When Lord Keck rolled in, this city here was really the only one that had level 2 infrastructure. Sorry, level 2 industrial complexes. The rest were just completely totaled when he passed through. The reason Lord Keck was able to outproduce you and beat you is because he had much better industrial centers. His industrial centers were level 2s, level 3s. He was able to pump troops out faster than you and more effectively than you. As soon as you guys start to lose those, you start to lose your advantage. In the future, I'd recommend that you upgrade these, and you keep them upgraded and you keep moving them up. Now, we have a look at mine, for example. Sure, I do have a few level 1s, but the majority of the ones in my core are all level 2+. Some are even 3s at this point, and if I had the goods and I didn't have to start producing more aircraft and submarines in 10 minutes, I would definitely continue upgrading them, but I can't. In terms of our economy, guys, we're stalled out in upgrading stuff. We need to carry on upgrading stuff to keep up with our growing army, but we don't have the goods because somebody, Burma or Goyas, whoever is sabotaging us, keeps destroying our goods. So they're to blame for that, and we'll get revenge later. But that's really slowing us down at the moment, because we are having to spend a lot of money on counter-espionage. As we can see here, in this particular province, it's done a number on its morale. I won't forget what these guys did, and I will get my revenge, but that's an issue for another day. So, in terms of our economy, when we get some spare time, I'm going to invest some more materials and goods. Goods, at the moment, are our #1 priority, and getting that production sorted will see us through the rest of the game. Then, going from goods, I'd like to spend some time on iron and rear, and then oil. We've got a lot of oil in stockpile, but we don't have the iron or the goods to actually spend it. So, we'll come back around to that last. And also, if we happen to have a look in the market as well, we can see that other people are having that problem as well. People have oil to spare, which I'm not, okay, I am kind of jealous of, but it is quite a commodity. So when the time's right, we'll carry on upgrading that sort of stuff, but for the time being, we need to sort out our goods, so then we can produce more troops. We have plenty of food. South Africa gave us what he has left, and I was kind of hoping he'd give me the rest of his stuff, but he stuffed up the trades on that one, so they were automatically declined when I got them. But I had the manpower, just not the production ability to use it all. So if I had more goods, I could produce a lot more troops. In terms of the troops I am producing though, I've built some anti-air in here just to make the most of this. I'm also producing some anti-tank, and anti-tank is going to be of assistance. In terms of troop layouts and what sort of armies I'm building, it's hard to tell at this point, but I'm going to try go for some blitz stacks and then for some infantry stacks just to do the hard work in the cities. The infantry stacks will be covered by anti-air, while the blitz stacks, consisting of light tanks, are made for speed, so unless I get some SP AA, they won't be covered by anti-air, and their sole purpose will just be to raid and destroy. So that's enough for today. I'll see you guys in the next episode.